Everybody, it's Ryan here from Android Coliseum. I'm going to do a review. I'm going to try these front facing cameras and see how you like these. So this one is the LG G8X Dual. All right, so the LG G8, I get a chance to review one of these, but this is pretty much similar, except it has the dual screen. The LG G8 has pretty much the exact same kind of specs as this one here. So if you just wanted the LG G8, this is it, except it doesn't have the Quad HD display. This is only a 1080p display versus the 1440. So a lot of debate about whether you ever actually know the difference between Quad HD and not. I know I can see the difference personally. I just feel the difference, but that's just me, I guess. I guess I'm unique. So anyways, this is the same guy. It has pretty much the same specs, same processor. The cameras in the back are a 12 megapixel for the normal and then a 13 megapixel wide instead of the same. So just slightly different process, that kind of sense. Outside of that, I think the battery is slightly different too, but I can't remember quite too well, to be honest with you. But yeah, so this is the LG G8 Dual. And the reason why they call it the Dual is it comes with this nifty case that has an extra screen plopped into it. So you're like, awesome. It's like a foldable without having to worry about the foldable, except you're going to have the binding in the middle. All right, so let's see how it actually works. Let me just first let you take a look around the device. We've got our volume controls and the assistant button, the power control. We have, going over the top, nothing on the top. We have a headphone jack for those who want to have some good headphones. USB-C. It has stereo speakers, one here and then one at the top. It uses the tiny little teardrop notch out of it, which is very minimal. So if you care about a notch, I think most people don't care about a notch really that much anymore. And it has an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is really good because once you put it in here, it'd be kind of harder to reach. The fingerprint sensor, I find not so good. Try again. Come on. Use unlock. Okay, pin code. Maybe just because I was not looking at it properly. But yeah, I found it's like the Galaxy S10. It was pretty slow on the uptake. It's not liking my fingerprint. Maybe I am only using the wrong finger. But even still, using the other fingerprint, it took me a while to do that. So again, I'm not a fan of some of these. The Huawei was perfect. Even for a first generation one out of the box, that was awesome. Okay, that was much better on there. So it must be this thumb. Anyways, so let's just plop it in here. This is very much similar to the G7. If you take a look at my review of that, in terms of the UI, you're going to see there's not a lot of new things you're going to find in here. But yeah, so you plop it in and it just kind of slides in. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that it gives you the always on display here. It gives you a nice big window of the camera here. And then it has the display. Oh, look at that. It came on. If make sure that fingerprint sensor is set up. Oh, there it is. You'll see that it comes up on display. Now, if you don't see, there's a little button here you can tap, and that brings up all your settings for, do you want to swap screens, turn it off, turn on dual, etc. If you're going to put it in here, I don't know why you would turn it off. It would be kind of annoying just to have a dead screen there, especially when the fact that if you fold it all the way around, it turns off. And yeah, it would really kind of neat if they had that, on or something like that. You could choose, but now I can't use the back camera. So if I want to take a picture with this camera, I have to do it like this, like an old person with a folio case, and it's annoying. But outside of that, it has a dual screen, so you can see there. And it even has a mode, so if you went into, no thanks, let's say pull in a website, you actually can bring up a widescreen mode on some apps will have this wide view. And then you have a full display across. And this is kind of freaky, but very few apps will have that. When you do have that wide view, what is really even weirder is that the home button is now there. It's kind of hidden in the little, you can just see it. All right. Otherwise, you can play as normal. Let's say it's interesting how automatically your what do you call it, app tray shows up here, and then you can play around with other things on this one. So let's bring up maps, and then if I wanted to bring up, let's say, where is, and it's weird, this is not exactly all the apps. Oh wait, no, it is. Yeah, there's Google. So let's say I wanted to bring up something here and say, oh, okay, where is that address? I can do that there. Neat. I don't know how often I'm sitting there going, oh, I want two displays. I got to do two different things at once. But it's kind of, if you are, let's say, copying, pasting a picture to do on my Instagram feed or something like that, that I have to download off of photos to share over. So I can see where there's going to be some advantages instead of having to, bring up that kind of multitask and then try to bring it over. Well, that's kind of neat. It brought that one automatically there. But so you have that. The neater thing that they start talking about when this is that if we bring in game mode. So let's bring up game mode, and it knows what games I have on here. And I'm going to bring up Dungeon Hunter 5. Ooh, and I can play it this way. But wouldn't it be kind of cool? There's supposed to be a way I can bring in, where's that game mode? And I want to have the LG gamepad here. Oh, well now it moved that there. Well, I want that there. So it's a little awkward sometimes. Well, what if I don't want this that way? I don't want the thin one. I want the thicker one to be there. Can I swap them around? It gets a little awkward about which way you're doing it.
To believe the undead would come so far into the city.
Again, it's really awkward.
Best make sure you're using your gear.
Very cool idea, but
Let's get you properly equipped.
it would be much easier if it was a little simpler, right? It would just, how do you swap put main? No, it's just, I can't get around it. It is just awkward to set up. It sometimes works perfectly. You go, I want to go into game mode. I want to turn, and so maybe you need to do is turn on the gamepad first. Oh, now it turns the real phone into it, and then I'll bring that up there. Ah, there we go. So now I can play like a 3DS and play. Now, as long as the game is set up for that. So they give you a couple of games that are already set up for this, but even still, they're not great. So, yeah, neat. Novel. I'm not sure it's really necessary, but it's cool. The bigger downside to all of this is that this case makes it really, and I gotta remember that if you're playing an app, you gotta kill that one or bring it back home out because you can leave things running. This case is big. It's bulky. You really feel this in the pocket. It's bigger, almost as big as an OtterBox. There's the Pixel 3 for scale. It is, way thinner, even just the phone. But even more awkward is the adapter to charge while it's on here is a different kind of weird plug thing. So you gotta have this, this plug adapter that comes in the box. There's USB-C, and it changes to this mag adapter, and it just kind of holds it in there, and then you plug it in. Except I find that it doesn't give me rapid charging through that, and the case kills the wireless charging. Oh, so I just know at some point I'm gonna lose this little dongle thingy. No matter how well it stays on, if I plug something in, it falls off like that. So I gotta make sure that I, put it down, that I'm supporting that as well. Otherwise, so that's a fail. I'm not sure I'd be willing to look at or overlook on this one. So, anyways, that's the dual, the $1,200 kind of phone. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think I'd be happier with just the G8 and not this dual. I'm not sure how I would use it in the real world. That's just me. Okay, I'll have a full review on the website. If you have any questions, give me a holler. Thanks.